Welcome back to a series of Wonders events. I'm your humble DM Robin, joining us today by our Stefan, play as our human sorcerer Rainy. Gibberish, my mouth. And Cat play as Holly, our Wood Elf rogue. Justin play as Sentinel, our Warforged fighter, and the other partner of our campaign is currently probably
indisposed.
sleeping. Indisposed. So previously, the team kind of followed up on a lead to track down. For Rivania and Sentinel especially, they focus on tracking down the whereabouts of Gus, the half-elf wizard that was taken by his rival, Amon his minions to his tower. So they follow the track, the lead and everything, towards the wizard's tower just outside of Arcadia. And that is also the time where Tarly kind of wrapped up with all the informing the officials, to Commander Knox about all those strange letters she found in the Ironforge mansion. And later on, she parted ways with the kid, Ash, and tried to join her group just by a series of leads and a letter that's stuck inside, the portal, the partial portal of the crack. Yeah. So for Sentinel and Ruveni, they kind of barged in, sort of, into the tower and animated a large bunch of objects and try to subdue, whoever is inside, namely the wolves. And finally, they encountered the wizard. The wizard kind of yells that it's all Gus' fault because he took his research. He stole something from him. That's why he retaliated by turning Gus into a sheep. And after some conversation, he kind of agreed to turn Gus back. And this is where we're at this point. It's been quite a time, so quite some time. So catching up is something of a must. Yeah. So right now, Rainy, you saw your persuasion kind of worked as Gus was turned into his normal form. But roll me a perception check.
Alright.
Yeah.
Perception?
Yes, perception first. Alright. You took a glance at Gus. At first, he looks, extremely normal. Like he's been turned back to his original self. But with a second look, a closer look, you see he kind of grew a goatee that wasn't there. And beyond that, you can see down to his feet, it's still a hoof instead of a humanoid leg or foot. So feet. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So Gus was like, "Oh, thank goodness, I'm finally back." Wait a minute.
And what was the other guy's name again?
The other guy? Ahmad Nock.
Ahmad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I sort of see that. I sort of shout back at Moga. Hey, thanks for that, but his feet are still kind of hooves. What's up with that?
Whoa! Gus kind of looks at his feet and just kind of starting to kind of yell like, "What the? Turn me back! Now! Why am I still having a hoof as a foot?" And his rival, Ahman, just kind of looks from Pico and just says, "That's impossible. I already turned you back. I canceled the spell."
Can I roll Arcana?
Yeah, you can totally. In fact, Ravani, you can also roll for Arcana
Uh-oh.
to see what happens.
Oh, I'm -1 in Arcana. Alright, that's good to know. Oh, yeah.
Yay! You.
This guy is bullshitting us. He didn't take off the
Yeah,
spell.
you can roll for a follow up insight check to see if that's true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
+1.
All right. So, Sentinel, you feel that he's not lying. His tone suggested that he's equally as surprised as you are. As for the Arcana check, you can't really tell for sure because it's not your expertise. And yeah, for Ravani, the guy's definitely lying. He's lying to his teeth. He just doesn't want to change his rival like completely back to normal. Yeah. At this moment, Tully, on the outside, you heard the loud yelling of a half elf. You recognize its voice. It's definitely Gus. And you kind of stares at the wolf on the outside. The wolf is still kind of on the bridge, just kind of sits there. So yeah.
I'm just gonna walk past real slow. Just like, please don't bite me. I just want to go. I'm not threatening. Just let me in the door, please.
You were sneaking?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a
We'll
stealth check.
stealth fast. Yeah.
All right. You mutter in the shadow as a muttering shadow just try to walk past the wolf. Let's see if the wolf detects you. No. Definitely not. So yeah, the wolf was sitting there and you gingerly leap over its head, go to the other side, and just walks in. Because the door was no, actually. The door was still closed. And actually, magic seal. All right. I will. Actually, no one has the time to lock the door. So yeah, you easily open up the door and just walks in, and just staring at a bunch of chaos, especially a large amount of chairs that's standing there. And
I have indeed found my friends.
yeah. Yes. All right. So at this moment, with the check and all that, I don't think you guys notice. Wait, no. Actually, you two should roll for a perception check to see if you. It's quite easy because the door is open.
Yeah,
So-
I've just opened and shut
Yeah.
the door. Squeak! Crunch.
Okay.
Yeah, it requires a really low perception to actually fail that. So, no, you definitely notice that. Yeah. So, with the check, what would you like to do? So Ravani, you know that in your gut you feel like the wizard is telling a lie. What would you like to do?
I just reply. Well, either that one of yours is busted, or you're trying not to turn all the way back. So you better get down here.
All right. Is that an intimidation or you're
well,
trying to intimidate him, or
well,
just
not-
trying to convince him?
Well, just trying to convince him.
Okay. With a really strong tone and use.
Sure,
of
yeah.
All right. You don't need to roll for that. It's okay. All right. The wizard's like, but that's impossible. I already reversed the spell.
Well, you can come in and we'll come down here and see for yourself. Then the poor guy's got hooves for feet.
Yeah, what she said. And Gus just raised his foot up in the air. It's like, you better turn me back or else. Yeah. The wizard's like, or else what? You can wear the hoof for life. But I will go down there just to mock you in the face. And you just heard the loud noise of the Ahman just coming down from something. And in the meantime, Gus is like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Just kind of on edge, just trying to still deal with the fact that he's not fully changed back.
At this point, I'm gonna sort of rearrange the animated furniture into a clump in the middle of the room, and I'll and after that I'll break my own concentration on the spell.
All right. And you there's no requirements of any action. So yeah, the object just turned back into normal chairs and everything. King, king.
And I sort of go to Gus to say, well, first of all, you need to take some deep breaths and settle down and
deep breath. Are you joking right now? Have you seen my feet? Sorry.
Yeah.
Feet. Yeah.
Yes, Gus. I've seen your feet. I don't know how it happened, but we're going to work through this together, okay?
At this point, I go to Irvani, and I whisper to her ear, or at least actually not a whisper. I just say it in front of her, and they can freely hear what I'm saying. And I say, "What's this?" I just conclude that it was a mistake from. He did lift the spell. This is what the thought process. Yes, he did lift the spell, but there was some problem lifting the spell. So he's like that. So I just say, "What's this?" He's not lying. It was just a mistake.
Okay.
If you say so. Well, if you think so, I still don't know. And I assume at this point I would see Tally come in, or.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, what have I walked into? What happened? I'll leave you alone for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tally, I'm so glad you're here. It's kind of a long story, but Gus got turned into a sheep, and we kind of had to chase around a little bit, and there's this whole thing about
that's the understatement of the year. Gus just
she found you. She helped you.
And
I call it a win.
And now we're dealing with Gus's rival or something. And
oh yeah, hi.
Yeah. At this moment, Ahman just coming down from the stairs. You can see he's kind of wounded due to the battle that happened before. Just a slight injury on the shoulder, and apparently he healed himself, but not enough time to wipe the blood off his robes. He comes down and just still. You notice that he's actually coming down from this side of the wall, and his back is leaning against the wall actually at this point, and just looks at you guys and says, "Oh, all right, I'm down."
Yeah, I just gesture to Gus's feet. See, goat feet, hooves. I don't know for sure if you were. I don't know for sure what's going on, but that.
Well, it's
good with that wand.
Well, yeah, it's a mistake with the spells, I guess. I'm not fully sure, and Aman is like trying to get a closer look, but he's kind of not stepping towards you guys. So Gus was like, "Oh, shut your trap hole. Just guys, just bring me over to him, please." You can see Gus is really not knowing what to do with the hoofs. Yeah, unable to walk at this point. Yeah.
I'll sort of try and like drag him, sort of pull / drag him by his
I'll take another side. Yeah.
Just on the shoulder and just carrying him over. It's like, have you definitely stole the wand from me? After all this time, you haven't figured out how it works? And you see Haman just like kind of like, well, it's a complicated work. Besides, you stole the note. You took the note. It was rightfully mine. And you see them start arguing about, okay, this from the arguing you get from those guys, you get the following information. So apparently they both went into kind of a, scavenging, like kind of like a treasure hunt underneath a ruin somewhere far through the portals in a place called Faroon, like somewhere kind of far away from their own plane. And as they're scavenging and they find this a book that's written in numerous weird symbols as well as disturbing images that indicates the transition of transformation, how to break it down and making a powerful artifact based on that. They only get a few pages. The book is not complete. Apparently someone ripped off multiple pages from that book, and the only thing they find besides the book is this wand. So they took it back, and because Ahman is kind of a they're kind of in a rivalry situation, so he figured that if they return, Gus would take all the credits, and as he suspected, Gus actually did, because he's the kind of a trainee underneath the principal of Arcadia. And Ahman has no one above him, so he the treasure was taken away and they all handed towards Gus for further studies. So this is why he's holding such a huge grudge. On the other hand, Gus thinks this is his mentor, the principal of Arcadia, hand this over to him because he knows better in transmutation spells and all that. So he couldn't understand why this sense of grudge coming from, and there's that. So they're still arguing. What are you guys doing at this point?
It actually just occurred to me. Did Gus's familiar ever come with us through the portal?
Yeah.
Okay, so
he's just like carefully flying up in the sky, just watching, all this. Yeah. So they're coming down as, it's your fault. No, this is your fault. Like kind of argument. Yeah. It's childish and nothing. Of that.
Eventually I sort of want to just sort of put my foot down, sort of just say enough to try and get him to quit it for
If you
Yeah.
want to, you can
Yeah.
certainly do that. So you kind of step in and says, "That's enough." What else? They all kind of stop and kind of turn towards you. Yeah.
Right. So right, Gus. Clearly, you thought your master handed this stuff off to you because he thought you were the better person for this transmutation stuff, right?
Yes. Gus immediately responded and is like, "I am the master. I am the expert in this area. That's why he handed over to me. Like, say it yourself. Have you learned anything from this wand up till this moment? Besides it transmutate people?" And Nock was like, well, that doesn't justify you taking away my research. And yeah, they're on the edge of going back to the argument. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So, Ahmed, what, like, did if his master handed the stuff to him, did he ever like talk to you about it, or did
There's no compensation. There's no rewards for my findings. No, it's all the great Gus who took everything. Me? You seen this place? And he just waves his hand around the area. On a second look, this is quite a lousy stay for a wizard. Especially after what you witnessed in Arcadia. Gus even have his own laboratory, his own, establishment, all that. And compared to, like, Aman only have this tiny tower, so you can get a sense of why he's holding such a huge grudge. Yeah.
But so you're telling me they just like took away the stuff that you found, like no
Yes.
explanation, no
Yes.
no reason given, nothing.
Yes. What we found supposedly is that if we once reported to the board of the wizards, we will be able to get compensation, at least for what trouble we went through. And there's nothing in return. Just because he's the apprentice of the principal. And Gus was kind of like, but what? There's no way. I mean, at this moment, he's kind of speechless. Gus is kind of speechless because you can tell from his face that he also kind of know, but he just don't really want to know, as a sense, if it makes sense. So he probably heard of this, but maybe because he just devoted himself into doing magic, or maybe just don't really want to bother into helping up someone who's not even his friend. So yeah.
So Gus, when the two of you like reported these findings, like did you mention at all like the stuff that Amon found at all?
I did, sort of, kind of. Well, he didn't really help much. All right. Yes, we all went on the search. We all went on the hunt, but I'm the one who opened up a portal. I'm the one who found the location of this ruin. I'm the one who actually find the book. He just accidentally stumbled upon a rock and found the wand. That's it. Alright? He fumbled himself onto a rock and picked up a wand. That's all he contributed.
Well, even if he, well, I mean, even if he stumbled it by accident, surely that must. I mean, surely that still means he found something. And
you're right. Yeah. Well, I guess I was kind of wrong. Just a little bit, I guess.
I mean, look at me. I have oodles of sorcerer's magical power, and half of that comes from stumbling upon it. But that doesn't mean I didn't earn it.
I guess you were right. I guess. Gus just kind of looks sort of a kind of revelation kind of feels his expressions, and he kind of turns around and look at Aman and just like look man, I'm really sorry about what happened to you, and yeah, I think I did poorly to try to say to the other people that you actually contributed, because yeah, we were not much of a we're not friends, we're enemies. I guess I let that blind my judgment. I'm kind of sorry for that. Sorry, I am sorry for that. You know what? I will, once I return to the Arcadia, I will report to my master and have him, compensate you with whatever you need. And Ahman just steps in and says, and partake in the research of this. And he waves the wand. Gus was like, that can be arranged, I guess. Alright. Ahman just says, alright. If that's the case, he turned around and towards you, Ravani, and just says, well, I guess I have you to thank. You barge in and destroy all of my furnitures, but well, you kind of helped in a way. Yeah.
Well, I guess I didn't really have all the information at first, but I'm glad I could help with this whole misunderstanding.
Right. Thank you. And he turned around and just looked at the hoofs Gus was in, and just like, well, I don't really know how to reverse you back. That's the truth. But maybe you can try this. And he kind of waves the wand, and you can tell that he's chanting the spell. Do you know polymorph?
I don't have
Okay.
polymorph in my list, but
okay, it's all right. You can roll for an Arcana check. Well, I already told you it's polymorph, but anyway, yeah, it's fine. It's probably the same spell that's been used on Gus. Yay, it's polymorph. What is polymorph? No, just kidding. Yeah, so you can see that the wand starts to sparkle. It's kind of a weird, unusual sparkle with a beam of arcing red light. And it kind of hits Gus on the foot with a puff. He kind of turns... yeah. He was turned back into a sheep. You can see the equal surprise appeared on Ahman's face when he sees that. He's like, what? This is not supposed to... And you see the wand starting to... there's cracking starting to appear on the wand as the reddish light coming... just beaming out of the cracks. It's like as if it's about to break. The light is like kind of shimmering as if it's like almost at the threshold.
Tully's gonna grab Ravani and just kind of like turn her away from what she is. His face is an impending explosion. Yeah.
Yeah. What is happening? Nog, you can see that the wand is starting to shimmer, and Tully, you grab Ravani. Sentinel, what are you doing right now?
Sorry,
it's
my
okay.
mic was muted.
Yeah.
So, is it a sure thing that it's gonna explode?
You don't know. Roll me an Arcana check. Actually, all of you roll for an Arcana check to see if it's actually about to explode.
Or is it just
yeah.
just...
Ooh, a 19. It's a crit.
Nice. That's a nat 20.
Alright. Yeah, so Sentinel, you of all people kind of know the spell. Well, part of your recreation process is contributed by transmutation classes, so you definitely know polymorph. And the further thing you know is that this one is not about to crack, but more like it's on the edge of cracking. And from what you saw in your past life, you do realize that some kind of wands, they don't burst, but they do far worse things than that. Some wands, when depleted back at your time, can become a powerful, a tool to change something or someone, especially for transmutation spells. It has the capacity to turn possibly everything around them into random, unorganized shape. Yeah, so
that's all I need. That's all I need to know. Sentinel just rushes in beside the dude that has the wand, and he's gonna grab it out of his hands.
All right. Roll me a strength check with disadvantage.
All right. This is Sentinel. Just strength.
Yeah. All right. How are you planning to grab it? Just run by him, grab, or just jump on him and grab?
Now that I think about it, I'll push him down and then grab it out of his hands.
That's when you can apply your athletics. Yeah.
Still disadvantage though?
Yeah, still disadvantage.
It's alright. That's a +9, baby.
Nice. Yes. All right. Ahman. Yeah. With that, you can feel the tethering of the wand. You can see that, Sentinel, as you grab it out of Ahman's hand, it's more like he wants to let go, but the wand wouldn't. So you can you can see a string of blood. Kind of, his palm is cracked open with a straight line where he holds the wand, and a stream of blood is actually tethered with him. As you pull it away, you pull a large stream of blood along with you, and Ahman basically just falls back and fainted. At this moment, Gus is kind of Gus' sheep shape kind of reverts, but this time as he reverts to his original form, it's even worse. He's now got horns of a goat, well, of a sheep. Like random horns coming out from his temples, and the goatee grows longer. And now at this moment, even his 2 hands are turned into hoofs. It's like with each turn, he's just sliding towards becoming a sheep, becoming an actual sheep.
So is the wand still connected to the guy?
No, with your strength pull, you definitely pull it out of him. But with that, you can see a large amount of blood also splash out of his body.
Okay,
like,
sorry about that.
He's like, ah! And he falls to the ground, just unconscious.
Well, gotta do what I have to keep my people safe. If I crush the wand, does that still do the same effect?
It will become more unstable if you crush it by your hands. You can tell for sure. Like, it needs to be disposed in a way of how it was meant to be, instead of just brutally forced through it. Yeah.
Yeah. At this, okay. All right. New plan. Let's just take this. I sort of like try to like very gingerly pick it up with like a couple of fingers, like holding it like as far away from me as I can.
The wand?
Yeah.
Do you want to do that?
Is it Sentinel holding it?
Yeah, Sentinel is holding it. Do you want to hold the wand?
Does it attach to my hand?
No, actually. It's kind of weird though. Rivani, do you want to hold the wand?
Well, I just sort of want to like gingerly pick it up with like a couple of fingers, like.
Sentinel already picked it up.
I'm holding
just,
it.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Do you want to take it out of his hand?
Okay. Okay. So instead let's just take that wand and hold on. Let me find like something we can put it in. I'm gonna also like sort of try and find like a little like container or box or something that I can use to put the wand in for just so that no one else is touching it for now.
All right. So you quickly go through the ruckus what you made all around the tower, and try to find like a luggage bag or whatever, just a wooden box to contain it. Roll me an investigation check.
Investigation.
All right. You look around. It's really hard to find something that could cover it. So instead, you just grab around, under the table, found a drawer, just pull it out, and just, it's a clunky drawer with no hatch over it, but it'll make do, you guess. Yeah. So you move forward.
Robin.
Yeah. Sorry.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Sorry.
Cool. It's fine.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He
It's
already
alright.
told me that.
Sentinel will protect you guys.
Yeah.
When you need
Alright.
him. So, okay, gotta go.
Yeah.
Thanks,
cool.
guys.
All right, good luck.
Yeah. Later.
See ya.
See you. All right. His schedule is pretty busy. He already told me that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Seems like, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
All right. So as you hand over the drawer towards Sentinel, you notice that Gus is like on the ground. He's having a hard time to stand up, but he was like, "Grab the book," and he point his hoof towards Nock, and you can see that on the ground, near the right, he falls onto his face. Well, yeah.
Oh.
And yeah,
I'll try and catch him.
yeah, on the right side there is a bump, and at Tully, as you go and patch him down, you found the book, Gus was referring to, and just like, there must be something inside that can contain it, and just bring it over. And he waves a hoof towards, and
I'm just gonna page through it for him.
Yeah, and you hold it onto your hand. You, as the first glance, you realize, I've seen these sketches before. Like numerous times before.
Big
Yeah, and the book is there's only about 5 pages, left. It used to be like a sort of a binder for some pages on top of it, but now it's only 5 pages left, and they're all in this weird drawings as a transition towards different stage. It's kind of weird. Roll me an intelligence check to see if you can recall where you saw these from. All right.
No, man.
Yeah. Well,
Where's that net 20?
No, don't despair. You actually recognize it. It's not a hard link. Because you found numerous pages like this. You realize that these are all the single pages you found on your past journeys from the start, where you were in with your old companies back in Feldenver, and all the way to Neverwinter, and all the way to here. Like, it's as if each time you encountered this major plot, you would found something that's lying here, like lying besides it. So you can search your bags and pull out all those weird page of, I believe it's under the name of weird drawings and all that.
Yeah, I'll gently reaffix it in the binder.
Yeah. So, like, I believe. Let's see.
I'm trying to figure out if it's in the bag of holding or not.
Yeah. I believe Nathan has put a lot of stuff inside. Yeah, disturbing drawings as well as the cultist notes. So you found 4 of a total, pages. You reattach it inside, and it forms a total of a 9-page book from start to finish. And then you see all those broken pages resealed itself, reattach itself towards the book, and the book starts to like kind of gently floating out of your palms. And Gus was like, wait, what is happening? And
It's fixed.
Yeah, Sentinel at this point is like kind of rushing forward, trying to, deal with the wand, and Gus kind of like, flip the pages for me. And you flip to the starting page, and you see like the drawings kind of shimmers in different kind of lights, and Gus was like, so this goes to this, and this goes to this page, and he tried to use his hoof to push the symbols on top of the pages. And roll me an Arcana check to try to assist him in ways.
Okay. Oh jeez. Yeah.
You're kind of not sure of what these symbols means, but with the guide of Gus like telling you this A1 goes to this symbol goes to A1, this symbol goes to the other side, and you kind of assist him with our Arcana check to put together a symbol that's looks awful like a broken sun, and He just flipped the pages towards the wand. As the wand was like shined by the light, it as if like in the void there's like light strings of like kind of spells weave into the wand and kind of form a cocoon. Like it was originally just a few strings, and then eventually it kind of wraps around the wand itself, and at the end it kind of wraps it entirely into a cocoon, and he's like, Gus turns towards you. This is the time we all run, and
Grab.
Sentinel just charge forward, dump because the wand, as it's wrapped into a cocoon, it's already floating out of Sentinel's hand. Sentinel just comes over, grab Nock as well as Gus, just kind of like, let's go, and just kind of charge outside of the house.
I sort of whistle for Bright Eyes and Gus's familiar to sort of follow us out as well.
Yeah. Gus's familiar is perching on top side of the window, so as you whistles, he just flies out. By the way, Rivani, as you walk through the pool of blood that was formed by Nock, Nock spilled the blood. You notice that there are some bubbly coming out of the blood, and before you can realize, a gigantic kind of blob monster just kind of emerged from the pile of blood. You have one round before you need to roll for initiative. But what would you like to do? Just run? It is still forming shape. It's not entirely, like solid shape, but you can see that give it a few more seconds to possibly come to life.
Okay. Can I toss can I throw like a spell at it and then get out?
You can actually.
Yeah, it's like, oh god, ew, no. I sort of make a I'm gonna do a chromatic orb actually.
Okay.
Sort of making, and this one's gonna be sort of making like a ball of ice that I'll throw at it to try and sort of freeze into place.
Okay. So ball of ice coming up. So as you kind of cast the spell, just like you this time the spell casting procedure is kind of different. You can see in the surrounding, you definitely successfully cast the spell. The spell definitely hits the monster, and it definitely throws it in ice. However, you can see the magic aura tethering from your fingertips all the way towards the monster. Like there is a link. Like when you shoot out the energy, normally you wouldn't, just normal magic streams, and it vanishes in mere seconds, split seconds. But this time you can actually see the magic aura that was emitting from your palm. The monster is with no doubt demised, but you can see around you that your magic aura kind of hums. It's a weird color. In fact, it's a pile of colors. It's as if someone splashed, the color plate all over you. This is what you're seeing surrounding you, and it's huge. Like your magic aura. Like normally, if you determine something with, detect magic, you will see the magic aura, the size of it. Normally, it's just something wraps around the items, which is already powerful enough. but now you see yourself, your own magic aura, and it's huge. It's like covering your sight. And you don't know what happened, but you can definitely feel the surge of the magic power roaming inside your body. So, yeah, that's about it. Before you start running, you feel like you were casted the spell of expedited retreat, as your movement is like, well, sorry, haste, as your movement is twice. It's doubled up, and you blur out of the room like a wind. Yeah. Right.
I just like zoom past everyone else that's
you zoom
already
past
outside.
almost everyone. Yeah, and just fall outside. And at this moment, the wolf is like on the front door, not knowing what is happening. He was trying to bark, but then you can see that he kind of, the animals, they can sense danger well better than humanoids. So it's as if he sensed something and started to run like faster than you guys. Like he even jumps out of the platform, like not caring that might break its four legs. As you kind of charge outside, you can see that at first there's nothing, and it's almost until you guys want to ask what is happening, why isn't anything happen, you see that the tower starting to reconstruct itself. Like all the bricks surrounding it starting to be pulled out into various shape. Sometimes mud, sometimes just solid diamonds, into various of forms. You see creatures you only see in your nightmares, like really badly disformed wolf head attached to goat head attached to lion head, or just like kind of those distorted abominations that you only see in your nightmares. And
as soon as I see that, I'm immediately like, nope, we're out. We're out.
You guys continue running. As you reach the portal, you look back as all the disformed creatures are sucked into a whirlwind, and this whirlwind kind of grows bigger and bigger, and then the last one of you leaps through the portal, you can see that it kind of surrounds the whole demiplane and just kind of vanishes, just kind of shrunk into a condensed form, and just the portal just kind of breaks as you walk through it. Yeah. All right.
Everybody here? Everybody okay? I don't know what the hell I was, but oh my god.
I think so.
There was some magic nonsense happening with you, and we are looking at that later.
Let's just one thing at a time. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are back at the Planar Observatory, on the outer brim of it. Gus is like, at this moment, as the portal self-destruct, you can see that Gus his body kind of reverted into his original form, like normal form.
Hey, he's back to normal.
He's like, it's all, oh my god, praise the Lord, oh my god.
Welcome back.
Well, that's one less thing to worry about, I guess.
I guess so, but he looks down on his lap, and you can see that the book is laying there quietly, and he was like, that is something odd, like Those pages, where do you find them? Where did you find them?
All over the place. Cultists, probably not the most reputable sources, but you know.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we ever really found out entirely what the deal was with those drawings. But
I would say we did. And he lifted up the book on the front where there was nothing. The book was a plain binder, as if there's no, symbols, crafting, carvings on the front, cover. But now it does. And it is a symbol. A symbol that Rainy only saw once in your life. But it is enough. You recognize it immediately as the symbol your mentor showed it to you when he said you should always remember your mother by. That is the Minecraft symbol of your family.
I just sort of when it sort of finally actually clicks in my head when I'm looking at it, I just sort of stare at this wide-eyed sort of. No way, that's hers. I just turned to Hallie. That my master showed me this a long time ago. This is my family symbol.
Rivani, you take a closer. Tali, you take a closer look. It's a shape of a 20-sided dice, and it's the face facing directly towards you. It's like a circle wrapped in a triangle. Yeah. I will see if I have the image.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Glad you found an heirloom, a connection to your family. It's a little bit creepy, but it's still nice.
I guess, yeah.
Y'all are powerful people.
Yeah, my mom really must have been involved in a lot of powerful stuff. Yeah.
Gus just looks at you and just like, yeah, this is something worth mentioning both to the Arcadia as well as the Minecraft family.
Wait, mentioning to the Minecraft family, there's more people here.
You guys didn't know? I thought you already met them. There was a mansion right across the town. It's the Minecraft family's, state inside the Silver Council.
We found it. Tali didn't go there.
Yeah, you didn't hear that because you were not there. Only Rivani and Viking were there, but Viking is gone, and no one actually informed you of that information. Yeah.
Like, there's more people.
Yeah, there's more people. And Rivani, from what you can recall, the guards that was first introduced you to, the Court of Serenity, when you and Viking were like faking, to enter the court, you were introduced of the Minecraft state, the Minecraft mansion that resides in the Silver Council on the edge of that perimeter, because according to rumors and street talks, they were like estranged and weird, eccentric type that your mom was a well received grandmaster of the Planar Observatory. In fact, her name, as you recall, is still, on top of Arcadia, alongside the principal and the other, staff members. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Didn't I mention that to you before, Tally? Or
It
where's
must
my
have
memory
passed
playing?
us by in the attempted murders that occurred.
Yes.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I actually, yeah, a while back I actually saw her estate. It was pretty cool. But I didn't I didn't think there was. But I didn't see another of my family around at the time. I assumed I assumed I was the only one here.
I get the feeling it's high time we went and found them.
Yeah, Gus was like, yeah, that's probably the case. But before, maybe take care of, as much as I hate this guy, and he points at Ahman, I don't want someone dead on my conscience.
Oh no, of course
Right.
not.
Yeah,
we're the nearest clerics.
Yeah.
Right, no problem.
Yeah. So you guys carried him towards the temple. Well, there's numerous temples, so yeah, you bring it to the closest one, which happens to be the Temple of Light. Yeah. You want to say something? Sorry, Rennie?
Well, well, I guess like on our way to the car, I was sort of like just sort of mentioned Gus like so after so after we take care of Ahmed, would it be possible for the two of us and your familiar to make a super quick detail tour to the job board because
no need. Just let's go back to my place. I already have the contract signed. I'll just deliver them through sending.
Okay.
Through the sending spell. Yeah. So it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Works for me then.
Yeah, because I'm really tired. Turning into a goat is not the best form of life.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds pretty rough.
I've been there for over a week. Can you imagine? Over a week as a sheep? I'm not sure if I stay in longer. I would say something weird like bah. Yeah, as he was like saying, he like kind of just burps out a bah. He was like, "It's nothing. It's nothing. It's just force of habit. You didn't hear anything, all right? Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Whatever you say.
Bah. Yes. Nope. Nothing. All right. So you guys went to the Temple of Light and have the priest help you with Aman's condition. The priest can't do much since like the spells they cast on him seems to have like really only reduced effect on him. So they tend to the wounds with traditional care of like bandages as well as emergency. All right, with bandages as well as like kind of medicines and all that. And as they treated him, the priest turns towards Gus and you guys and says, "Well, he is not in a very good condition. We managed our best to stabilize him, but he appears to be somewhat cursed for unknown reasons. We lift the curse now, so he's getting better. It's just it's kind of anything happened. It's kind of weird. Gus just looks at her and just like, nope, nothing happened. Just random accidents doing experiment.
Yeah. You know us spellcasters, right?
Yeah. The priest gives you guys a suspicious look, and then it's like, well, I guess it's not my place to judge. He will need to stay at least for another day to make sure that he's fully back on his feet. But beyond that, he's stabilized. So you're welcome to retrieve him tomorrow. Gus nod and just says, "All right, I guess we're back to Arcadia." Finally. And you guys just walk towards Arcadia. After you went there, like the school is as usual. It's like a lot of people are crawling around, kind of like college, and yeah, and you went back to his house. Gus kind of treated you well because you basically saved his life, and just offers you the finest stay you can find in Arcadia. So you guys kind of enjoy the rest of the evening in a fairly comfortable stay. Yeah. You kind of wrapped around when you went back to Arcadia. It's around 2 in the afternoon, 2 to 3 in the afternoon. So yeah. You kind of spend the rest of the afternoon and evening, and just chill and rest. While so first, Ruveni, do you take the book or do you let Gus take it? Gus just told you that I just want a quick look. You can have it back by, the day after next.
It's
a quick study.
Oh, it's no problem. You feel free to study if you like.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. He just takes a book, just charge into his lab, and just like work to do. Yeah, and. So you guys, I would say you guys just wanders around and in Arcadia, just trying to find what would you guys like to do at this point?
I assume it's getting late in the day at this point.
Yeah, you guys went back to Arcadia, like I said, around 3. And you guys kind of rested for a while. It's around afternoon, into the evening, around 6. Once you're well rested, you take a short rest. Yeah. So.
And assuming that I've I guess I might try to maybe meet up with 4 again to I know that I was able to get a little bit more funding for what we're
definitely. When you
on.
return, Vor is still hard working on the schematics and putting the pieces together. Just waiting for the final enchantment to be done. Like, well, putting at least the stuff he can together. So yeah, for now, because that's all he has. And when you return, he's still hard on work. Do you talk to him or knock on the door?
Well, yeah, at least knock on the door. Yeah.
All right, so you knock. All right, and he's like, "Busy. Go away. Not the right time."
Is the door locked?
Not even for
sorry, Vanny.
Wild magic sorceress.
Sorry. My bad. And he turns around and just like opens up the door. you can see him like sweats pouring down his face. This must have been hard work all this time. And it was like, sorry, I thought you were one of those annoying kids. I was like, kids. And he just ushers a voice. It's like, I've been hearing knockings and people saying, "Is this empty?" or whatever. It was like all the day. I don't. It's just sorry. It's been really frustrating, especially when you try to concentrate on work. But come in. So you got the job done?
I had a hell of a day on my own today, but job's done. We got a little bit more gold to throw around for a bit.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so gold? You just reach out his hand and like, gold?
Right. Yeah. I'll hand that off to him.
All right. So just a reminder that Gus handed the money, the bounties that were collected towards for you, and it's quite heavy actually. I think you collected enough materials. You actually you're definitely smart enough to ask him if he has anything to exchange for. Yeah, because the guards, they just handed you the money they agreed upon, but you still have to buy the materials that you actually need. So I would just say that you acquired, you just paid Gus all your bounties in order to acquire the materials. Yeah. So you handed over the large bag of materials to Vor. Vor's like, that's more than I expected.
Well, Gus.
You've done
Gus
many jobs, right?
Well, Gus was very grateful for retrieving his familiar.
Yeah, you wouldn't say, but like, why would he just looks confused? Like, why would a wizard lose his familiar? That's beyond me. Anyway.
It's a long story.
Yeah. Now, anyway, I better get back to work. Well, this is good. He actually paid extra, so we got something more to work on. Just give me maybe 2 more days. Let's see if I can crack this thing, prep this thing up, and he just takes it back and it's like, so, you busy?
Oh, well, not at the moment. If you need anything else.
Yes, then you can assist me. And he just kind of drags you inside, and you guys start to work. On the other hand, Tully, what are you doing?
I was gonna sit around and watch, just keep an eye.
Okay. Nothing else?
I have no real, if there's time to walk back to the palace and check in on Alethea and everybody, yes, but otherwise, because I'd know the distance, and I don't know how long I've got.
Well, if you want to ask Gus, there's a faster way to travel, you can, if you want to.
That's true. Can just get bamfed across the city, but...
Well, it's up to you. You can still stay if you want. Alright.
I might stay.
Okay.
I don't trust Vor at all.
Alright. Guardian is definitely gonna stand guard on the side of the door. So you two just stay. Yeah. Since Guardian doesn't need to sleep, you just stand there the whole evening. Yeah. Yeah. So a new day comes, and Tali, you finally see that Rainy is out of the tiny, not tiny, of the experiment, like the lab, and she's definitely exhausted. Yeah, because you've been working.
I'm sitting there with 2 cups of coffee. Yeah. Mine's half gone.
Yeah. Yeah, Rainy, you you get one level of exhaustion because Vor just kind of work through the night, so you have no other chance but to also work alongside him. So yeah. So yeah, it's like really tiresome, but Tolly just handed over you a cup of coffee and just it's good.
Coffee.
Morning.
You're like the Walking Dead. Yeah.
That is the spot.
Good. I think we're gonna get some breakfast in you, and then you're going to bed. You look, honestly, I don't know how you're speaking sentences right now.
Yeah, don't worry, it'll be worth it in the end, I promise.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So you guys went straight for the diner. The diner is like kind of large and like it's sort of like a cafeteria. There's no chef. There's no staff around. The tables. You can just go there and grab a plate, order the things you want, and it'll just show up on your plate. Yeah. So yeah, you enjoy a large amount of food than ever before, and it tastes amazing, actually. Once you're done, you just leave the trays and the plates on the table, and there's they just kind of floats away by themselves. Yeah, just everything's automatic and magical. Yeah, so after the breakfast, you enjoy a small conversation, and do you guys talk about your next step, or what do you guys like to do at this point?
Since there doesn't look like there's anything else going on,
I'd like to go back to the palace and check on my family, but I want to make sure you're okay before I head off. Unless you'd like to come with, it's a long walk.
Yeah, I think it might be I think I probably should take your advice, actually.
Yeah. I just slowly stand back up. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like I just like looking like leaning around like I'm like drunk.
Yeah. Let's get you to bed, sleepyhead. Come on.
All right. So Rennie goes to bed.
Well, I guess I guess tries to rest long enough to recover from her level of exhaustion.
All right. That will take 8 hours of rest. So yeah, you just goes into your bed, just sleeps. While on the other hand, Sentinel, since he has nothing else to do, he will accompany you, Tolly, towards the palace. Right?
Marvelous. And I'll leave a little note by Ravani, like, if I'm not back, I'm at the palace. Come find us.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So, what are your preferred ways of travels? Do you ask
I'm used
Gus
to being
to
subtle.
assist you?
No, I'm used to walking. I just want to blend to the shadows and watch the city, see what the people are doing on my way back.
All right. So you blend into the shadows. You prefer the old-fashioned way and walk towards the destination. On the walk, you do notice that people are getting better at this point. The recovery is going well, and the reconstruction of the housing are also going well. You see a lot of wizards helping out with magic spells, telekinesis, and all that to reconstruct the broken down city blocks. Yeah, and everything looks fantastic. City in recovery.
Makes her
finally,
happy.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good.
Finally, you kind of reach the palace, and the guards, they just a first glance of you, just welcomes you in, and one of them even guides you towards the center garden of your family's place. Along the way, he kind of says, just kind of introduce you as you are the royal family members, to more of what they have been doing along the way.
Marvelous.
Yeah. So by what he said, what the guard said, apparently the Black Feather sovereigns and his wife are all awakened at this point. Like they heard something of a loud, magical, like kind of scream, or kind of like a tidal wave of something, according to the couple, and they kind of eventually kind of wakes up.
I'm curious. I'm glad they're awake. I'm really glad they're awake. But magic.
Yeah.
Why?
All right. Yeah, the guard kind of nods in agreement. It's like magic.
It's a bit weird. I don't know how you guys do your job so well. Anything else out of the ordinary around here, or was that the big event that I've missed?
Yeah, that's about it. We wouldn't want another big event happening around the vicinity.
I'm done with those for a while.
Well, but there is definitely something. I'm sure that they will inform you with better details, but they do demand to see you.
Okay.
Yes. So, yeah, you guys are welcomed into the main chamber, towards where they stay. And the main chamber there's no throne-like structure. Instead, they appears to be more lean towards a comfortable side. So you see a large kind of a library-like structure, with kind of open space, large tables as well as couches you can comfortably sit in. On top of it, you see Sovereign Black Feather with his wife just sits on one side of the couch waiting for you guys. And once you guys arrived, they stood up and just says, "Thank you. You may leave us." And the guard just kind of crosses like hands to his shoulder and just nods, and then just step aside. Just I believe this is the first time. Well, this is not the first time we meet, but this is the first time I'm conscious.
I'm glad to see you awake, and I bow, my king. My
as
queen.
you bow, he just walks towards you and just hugs you, and just like,
oh,
yeah.
Hi.
It's been so long. We never thought we would be seeing this. Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, the queen also hugs you tightly. It's like, oh, look at you. You have her eyes. And just gives you a good nudge on the face. It's like, just holds your face and looks around. Okay, yeah. You are thinner than I expected.
I like to run.
You will stay and enjoy a feast with us during lunchtime. Yeah.
Of
That's
course.
not a... Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you guys want.
She just looks at you, just like kind of gives you a smile, and just you guys all sit down on the comfortable couch. Sentinel, not knowing what to do, just like stands awkwardly on the side, and the sovereign just like, oh,
I do the
be
baseline.
your friend.
This is Sentinel. He's saved me quite a bit. He's marvelous. Sentinel, king and queen. Oh my word. I'm sorry Ravani's not here. She was working incredibly hard, and I kind of made her rest.
Yeah. Don't worry. Your friend is always welcome. If she needed rest after all this ordeal, she definitely deserves it.
She's straight back into work. I don't know how she does it.
Yeah. Well, some of them just are like that. I once
Yeah.
know a friend who's incredible in the arcane art, also shared the same passion as in working. Yeah, and later on she became a well-known wizard around the area. So
It seems to be a common thing.
yeah,
I wonder
the
they-
Minecrafts. Yeah,
Wait,
Uh.
the micro.
yeah.
They might be. Mine's also a Minecraft. Something in the name.
Interesting. Does Rosemary rings a bell? It's like
The face does the.
okay. Anyway, maybe not. She's walked her own path for quite some time. But anyway, sit, have a sit. Yeah, just
Thank
just introduce you to the couch, and I was like, so sadly, your sister won't be able to join us. Your cousin won't be able to join us. She's currently busy dealing with the reconstruction of the palace, as well as reforging security issues and all that. And she's been quite busy. I'm sure she'll be joining us with lunch, so I wouldn't worry that much. But yeah.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
she likes being in charge.
Yeah, that's kind of her
Has
thing,
to be
isn't
done
it?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad she's all right.
Yeah. The sovereign's like, you and I both, you and us both. Yeah.
Yeah.
But aside from trying to know about I guess we should start from how you've been doing all these years. I mean,
I've been well. Truly, I've been looked after. I know it may not have been the most normal of upbringings, but I had good people around me. I had a good family, and I never wanted for food or for shelter.
That is what we wanted to hear. That is that means Lavinia really trained you and looked after you well.
She did.
That's the reason why we sent her. She's the best.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, the number of bruises I earned, like praying, definitely speaks to that.
Yes. But, well, knowing that you're good is a real comfort to our heart. But sadly, there's something we would like to ask for your assistance. Especially, you've been through.
No.
You can always say no to all this, requests, because those are more just like a plead more than anything.
Your family, of course. Whatever you need, I'm at your service.
Well, it's your family as well, but yeah, you're always welcome. But well, to the main issue, the sovereign kind of looks more serious at this point and just says, with a grieving heart, I would say that despite your best effort, you do save the city. Don't get me wrong. You help the city from breaking apart. But the damage the cultist has done is far beyond our imagination. And we thought we could rummage through, we can repair it. We can find a way to fix it, to mend the wounds. But the truth is, we are on a losing battle against the broken, sigils and mythol.
The city is still sinking.
The city is still sinking. Not only that, we anchored our city in this demiplane, and there's this vast demiplane that is that we call ourselves, that we call this place home. But the truth is, without the mythal binding, sorry, excuse me for a second. Stress and uncomfortable. Yeah, so yeah, that's been the norm. But anyway,
no problem.
Yeah, but anyway, since the binding it's kind of broken, we are gradually losing the control. We are gradually getting kicked out of this demiplane, and because losing us as the anchor, the demiplane itself is closing up to. Demiplanes usually attach itself to the main world, which in our case is Faroon, and the connection is gradually diminishing. Even as we speak, at this moment, we no longer we lost a few dozen portals linking back to the main world.
Oh. I feel like I just fell through one of those not a few hours ago.
Yes. Yes, and with we were woken up by this loud magical wave of screams that we heard earlier the other day, just about yesterday actually, from what we can tell. Yeah, this wave of chaotic magic kind of expedited the diminishing of the link, and you might say that we are still a full city and we are still fine if we just live inside the stimmy plane by ourselves, but without the supplies and the trafficking of the merchants, we will be unable to survive just by our own. So we need to find someone that can help us reestablish the link. Yeah, or maybe if things come, if it gets really really bad, find us a place to relocate our entire city upon. There are several magical ley lines I found during my time traveling in Faroon, and there are several places, and he pulls out a map from his robe, and just place it onto the table. And as you can see, it's a huge map of Faroon laying down right in front of you, and he points out several locations, and the one each one he pointed at all starting to shine in various colors. So he says, so the white ones means it's not ideal, but we can deal with it. It's the least well, the magic there is the weakest point, so we wouldn't want to be there if we have other choice, but if push comes to shove, we will settle for it. And he gradually points to the one that's sparkling in purplish light, and he just says, this right here is sort of a perfect spot for us. Granted, it won't be the same weather as we are right now, the climate and all that. However, it is the best opportunity that for us. And he is actually pointing at the edge, the very edge of the map. And there's two purplish light actually. The one he pointed at, one of them is in a place called Chot. It's resides in a large amount of jungles. It's a faraway island on the sea. The other one is on the world's edge. Yeah, and he just like, these two are the best location we can find near our surroundings. Then there's this. He points out one of the blue dots, and it's near a city, the place called Moon Sea. And he said, the sovereign said, this was the original place of Mistrano, the long forgotten ruins of, well, the abandoned city. If we can set up our shop there, in layman's term, we can maybe harness some of the like ancient power from it to make our tethering more stronger. However, there is also some great risk resides in these ruins. So,
given the city's already battered, it's
yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that is not the optimized choice. But with the Chult and the World's Edge, those two are negotiable. For the World's Edge, it's a wasteland. I would grant it, it's a wasteland. But if we can manage to cut a deal with the 10 towns over here, maybe we can set up a nice place. As I've heard, the Dwarven King, Bruno Warhammer, was once the leading sovereign of this area. So I would say, if it's possible, maybe you guys can bring the letter from me to him. Maybe it will help. I've met him along my ways of travel. I've seen their heroic deeds, and maybe it's an option. Maybe for Chult, it's a random. The jungle is itself. It's powerful, so
it'd be very popular among your arcane casters.
yes, definitely. So here you go. Those are the options.
Thank you.
Yeah, he seems more relieved once he get this out of the way. It's like he's having a hard time to ask you guys to do yet another deed, but for the survival of his own people, you can see he kind of struggles to ask you.
It's important.
Yeah. And he was like, such a relief. But anyway, since I have requested, I have pleaded for you guys to go on yet another travel, which I know it's something hard to ask, but you guys are free to utilize anything we have. Our armory is open for your, to serve your needs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd like to armor my caster up a bit. I worry about her taking hits.
Yeah. Sentinel kind of eyes brightened a little bit when he hears armory.
It's like Sentinel, there's candy store for you.
Yes. That's the magic word.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he just says, and also you're more than welcome to talk to Launetus. I'm sure he will grant you the same inventory or some treasury he has.
So much.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I could need.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Definitely. This is the least we can do. Yeah.
It's overwhelming coming from not having much to the resources of a kingdom.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you did save our lives and the kingdom, so technically, and you are a royal family, so technically it's at your disposal. Yes.
That's never gonna get old. That's so strange.
Yeah.
But thank you. I'll have a look. I'll talk to my friend. She's very versed in arcane knowledge. And
oh yes. If she needs anything, just tell us. We'll be more than happy to provide if we possess them. If we don't, we'll provide our resources for her to do whatever she needs.
Thank you. But I guess at the end of the day, how are you two holding up? You've just woken up to.
You
Oh
can
my
tell
goodness.
that he's pretty pale as himself. So he was like, well, a little bit
It's.
tired, definitely, and a little bit. Well, how do you say fatigue? Maybe, but
I could probably. That's a good word. That's a very good word for
yes,
shit.
yeah, but I will survive. I already did. So, yeah.
Hardy bunch.
Yeah.
As long as you're gonna be all right.
I am.
Anything else I can do to help, as well as this, please.
Well, that's our greatest, well, yet heaviest quests we have. The other stuff we definitely will manage ourselves, especially with the city recovering. We have more and more capable hands in fixing this whole mess. The queen just says, and I believe we can find capable people to deal with the problem we are having.
Okay. I'll be excited to hear about how it solves.
Yeah,
it is a beautiful thing to watch the city come together and rebuild.
Yes, as always. One other thing though, not related to any request, but more like we've heard from Solaris. You apparently handed something to the commander, something regarding a misbehavior of sort.
He was not a kind person.
We didn't get much of the details though. Considering we just woke up from our slumber. There's
I wouldn't
pretty
wish to
much
trouble you with it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit petty, but it's still.
You mind telling us what happened? I mean. It's always good to hear from a family. Well, if it's too troublesome to
no, I just wouldn't want to bear you with the small. Like it was just some trouble with the Iron Forge. They. Not the nicest people in the city, and I owed, when we first got here, we stayed with Father Dwayne, and they caused him a fair bit of grief. I only wished to pay back my dues to him.
The dwarves. We were, Sovereign Blackfeather just kind of sighs and just says, we were blinded, in fact. We never see through how Ironforge clan as their true color. We always thought that with dwarves, we've met so many great leaders as well as people. We never thought that we would encounter someone like him. But yes, yet we did.
Put your trust in someone and they betray it.
Well, yeah, he is the merchant. He's the merchant who helped assist a large amount of resources to help build the city. That is why we take him in. He was the original founder, so to speak. Yeah, with his resources. But later on, he kind of... It's kind of hard to get rid of someone who already established authority, especially within something that's so essential.
You risk an uprising from their faction. It's
yes,
it's a dangerous game.
Yes, that's why we set up the council. We thought that if it's multiple players in the game, we can just kind of separate him. Making more people to join and fight against each other. It turns out that we were qualified adventurers, but not good managing material, as he kind of bought his way, well, through a lot of means to become this council chairman, which makes it harder to get rid of him if there's nothing solid we can find. But thanks to you, I guess.
It was no big thing. You were doing rather well. I was on the street. I could see it. Sometimes it's easier to be a free agent.
True. The truth is, none of our squad, none of the shadows of of the black feather can penetrate through the defense of the unfortunate mansion.
That's interesting to know. Yeah. That was a fun learning curve, learning what those couldn't get past. It's scary.
Actually, the shadows are referring to our guards, and she kind of the queen kind of summons, clap her hands actually, and you see that another elf just stepped out of the shadow with like standard uniform and the hood. The queen just said, claps her hand again, and just the guard just stepped inside the shadow and vanishes. The queen just says, it wasn't supposed to be literal shadows. It was supposed to be kind of a spell to turn them into shadows, making them easier to, cover the grounds at night.
It's a marvelous skill. Like yes. Tally's like, it's undisguised awe.
Yeah.
It's wow.
Yeah, but something went wrong in the process.
That's fair.
As it turns out, the beast you defeated, Mrakendorsa, the shadow of corrosion, he in fact is one of the 5 sons of the Dragon Queen, and he changed himself into the shadow black dragon, and he kind of took control over our army. That is why they're all forced to turn into shadow and stay inside under his command. And there's still a lot of them lost in the Shadowfell, and the magic kind of broke their mind and turning them into hideous creatures, which is unable to retrieve their souls and all that. Yeah, so I guess we were wrong. We shouldn't have messed with powerful magic like this. You see, the shadow magic the guards utilize, they are from Shadowfell directly. Yeah, so
you didn't know at the time, and I can't imagine anyone was unwilling.
Yeah, the truth, but the result is we sacrifice multiple of our kind for nothing. She sighs. But
sad, but it's unchangeable.
Yeah. But we're not here to discuss our failure. We're here to move on.
Exactly.
Yes.
Rebuild.
And for now, I insist you should join us for dinner. Sorry, for lunch. For lunch.
Any meal.
Yeah.
It's just a time and a
what
place.
What am I talking?
It's been a long day.
Yes.
You guys have legitimately just woken up to a
Yes.
completely... You're doing a marvelous job.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
Give her a cat poster.
I found it.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, she just nods, and just you guys are just coming to join for dinner, for lunch and for supper, and you have shared an amazing time having conversations, learning about the past, of the Black Feather Sovereign and his, well, how they met, how your mother and your father comes into meetings, and eventually they kind of how they fall in love and all that. And yeah, it is quite some heartwarming stories you share. And I would say you also share how your ventures has been, the whole you travel with this marvelous, adventures. And
the stories of my friends.
Yes.
And all that, and juggling knives at the dinner table, like, hey!
Yeah, hey! And they all clap when you perform that. Roll me a performance check
No.
to see if you stab someone. No, just kidding. But if you want to, you can roll for a performance check.
This gonna be bad.
This is actually really good. This is actually really good. Yeah, you juggle knives, throwing,
Join the circus.
Yeah.
What am I doing adventuring?
Yeah, you should join the circus. What are you doing with your life? Yeah, but you enjoy a quite pleasant lunch and having the fun sharing stories. Sentinel is also enjoying himself watching you performing. Yeah. So switching back to Riveni. Riveni, you just woke up from your 8-hour sleep. It's at this point it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You're really feeling replenished, feeling rejuvenated, and all your energy is back. Yeah, finally. So, what would you like to do at this point?
I assume I would have seen the note Tally left, so
Definitely.
I'll try and go and meet up with her then.
Okay. So you walk out of your stay. You notice that Gus's door is still tight shut, and there's a sign on the outside that says "Do not disturb." And the "disturb" actually have a long line carved in the back, and okay. Yeah, so you walk past it. You walk past through Vor's workshop. You can see him. His door is actually open, and he is. You can see him inside trying to assemble this large, long legs of the craft you have in mind. It's like, get in there, and the fumbling sound of a gnome just stumble, across the room, hitting multiple boxes and just face blending.
I'll poke my head quickly to sort of see if he's okay.
He's like, I'm fine. A hand just reaches out from the box, slump. It's like,
all right. Listen, I'm gonna be stepping out for a bit to meet back up with Tally, but I'll be back a little later, okay?
a moment passed, no response. Yeah. Still no response.
Great. Okay, great. I'll see you later. I'll see you later then.
You start to hear a snoring sound, like. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, you just pass through all the, noisy students and all that. You see, multiple apprentices are still working on making their magic right. They're still practicing magic. One of them is particularly practicing fireball, and in the training zone, there is a square that you can step inside. With any magic you can practice at your own free will, and it won't do much of the damage. Yeah. So yeah, he was like, get it over there, and just try to point, and nothing happens. But anyway, it's none of your business as you walk past through the crowd, and like walk across the town actually. So you have no trouble finding your way to the court, and the court welcomes you with open arms, and you were led inside just in time to see, like that Tully is still laughing, and they're back at the couch area, so you can see that she's definitely laughing, and she definitely enjoyed herself having a quality time with her family and all that. So yeah, you were introduced by the guards. The guards were like, Rainy, Mycroft, yeah, just like kind of declare who is coming. Yeah.
Come on in.
Hello, hey.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm a little late.
No, I'm glad to see you rested.
Mm-hmm. Sentinel just nods.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, definitely.
I'm like, do we have any leftovers? Have you eaten?
Oh, yeah. So, like her stomach actually immediately like growls like
At the right moment. Yes.
Yeah.
Where are our manners? The sovereign, the queen kind of like stood up and just says, "We need some plates and some food here. Just send them over immediately. What do you prefer? Boar, deer, steak, maybe pork."
I don't think I've ever tried deer before.
Okay.
You have that?
Yes, definitely. And
Great, and
yeah,
and it's a and it's a pleasure to finally meet the two of you, the real two of you. That is.
Yeah. She kind of smiles and gives you a nod and just kind of like extend her hands towards you, and yeah, just like, it's also a pleasure to see you. Well, with our own two eyes, not just by rumors to her of you. Yeah.
Because yes, Ravani is the workaholic that I was talking to you about, and I just they were telling me stories of another Mycroft that liked to work herself to exhaustion as well.
Yes. Rosemary. She's always this crazy at work type.
Yeah, from what I've been hearing, she really did. I guess it sounds like she was that kind of type, huh?
Yeah. So, distant relative? She kind of says to you, another Minecraft, huh?
Well, mother, actually.
Mother? That's odd. Interesting. The queen kind of gives you a, like, kind of confused but kind of found something new kind of look, and she just says, we were, your mother and I, we were really close, but I never heard that she met anyone, let alone being pregnant. In our mind, she's, well, and as a matter of fact, she's always busy at work. Like I said, I never really have the time to, especially when marrying, like when marriage, having a kid, according to her, has always been this ordeal for the mundanes, and not the type she'll have time to spend more time on. I'm glad to see that she changed her mind. How was she, by the way?
Yeah, I sort of get, I sort of get this sort of slightly uncomfortable, distant look as I sort of respond like,
Squeeze on.
Well, I I never really I never really saw her myself, not even since I was born, and um
Oh,
I
I'm so sorry. Um, my apologies. I didn't know. Sorry. I was like, yeah.
she's I don't think she's not exactly with us anymore. Uh,
Maybe. Uh,
so,
I don't know.
you have you people been resting all right?
Yeah,
We've
yeah, yeah. As you change the subject, you can see she's kind of relieved that you changed the subject. She's like, okay, yeah, yeah. We were a little bit fatigued, but I mean, everything with all things considered, we're just lucky that we're alive and doing well.
we've found our newest disaster. Let us roll the map out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yes. Sentinel kind of nods in agreement and is like, yeah.
we need to move the city somewhere safe before we're just like stuck.
what you
And then
mean?
Tali basically says like everything, checking with the sovereigns to make sure that she's got it right, and
Yeah,
then points out like, hey,
yeah.
these are
So yeah, the
Ooh,
sovereign,
oh,
yeah, add
okay,
in,
yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
yeah,
hip.
yeah. So yeah, as you guys are talking, just the sovereign just kind of adds in a few more details, saying, okay, maybe you can talk to someone or something or all that. It's basically all the stuff he explained to Tali before. Yeah.
So that's, you know, once we're done here, I say we move on and geez, get this sorted before it's another trouble. Why is everything always so time critical? Why can't we have something that kind of needs to be done in the vague future?
I don't know. The nature of the city, perhaps. It was
Yeah,
it was never a stable foundation. Well, you guys, it's not that time is like eccentric. We probably
Well,
still
like,
have about a month or so, a month or two to finally relocate and before all things came to critical. So
well, it didn't exactly help that cultists were mucking around the city's
yes,
basement.
that is also why we're facing this dilemma right now. Yeah, and I've heard one other thing. I've heard that this cultist, uh, they are originated from the mainland, and from what I can tell, well, I don't think the Dragon Queen will be too pleased that his one of her spawn is destroyed, and I would recommend you to travel safely and always beware of the cultist.
That's good
Yeah,
advice.
we've yeah we've been wondering how to. Yeah, we'll do our best.
In fact, there's actually something you guys can call for help if you ever encounter that kind of situation. And the queen kind of points at the world's edge and just says, there are several, well, giant clans that resides here. The cloud giants. Unlike their relatives, they are not as brutal as and impolite as the monstrosities. And we in fact have been there quite some times before, and their sovereign is always really generous and kind to us. So I believe, especially with the history of the giants and the dragons, I'm sure you've heard of that. No? Okay. Yeah. She'll be like, okay, finally someone I can explain this to. She'll be like, oh yes, I've been dying to tell the story. Long time ago, the giants were the first empire upon the ground, and their greatest foe are the dragons, which the dragons have these nasty habits of stealing treasures, occupying other people's space and call it home, and with no regard of other people's life. So yeah, the giant empire and the dragons fought for eons, and eventually that's where the new spawn of mankind, of elves, well, not elves, but of humans came in, and kind of gradually took over the land. It's really amazing how humans can achieve such a great deed. I think maybe it's the built-in tenacity within their blood and their adaptation to any kind of danger, I guess. But yeah, there you go. The great giant empire retrieved into the mountains along the side. Some lower class giants, as if the hill giants, the cloud giants, and the stone giants. There were the hill giant, the hill giants, frost giants, and the stone giants. They are still holding grudge of the great empire being, pushed and not overthrown, but more like washed away. So they become our common foes. The evil giants that we encounter nowadays. But cloud giants and the storm giants, they're not. Well, they're quite different. Especially cloud giants. They are the royal family of the giants. So yeah, my husband and I, we were there sometimes to make deals, arrange lands and supplies, and they were always really kind with us. So yeah, if you ever encounter any dragon problems, you can always find them.
I like it. We may need to call upon them again.
Yeah.
That's a lovely.
Having giant allies would be pretty helpful to Lux.
Yes.
Sounds like we've got another mission on our hands.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's up to you. Like I said, there are still multiple places you can go to try to fulfill. Well, try to finish the task. But I mean, if you ever encounter the dragons, then yeah.
Yeah, but putting so much to these folks is.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah. It's already one group that's friendly to you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she nods. And yeah, that's about it. So she looks at you guys and says, "So, you want to stay for dinner?" Yeah.
What? Would I?
And by the way, as you guys were discussing all the locations and the stories, the meal was served to you, and it's delicious. It's like the tenderest meat you ever ate. Well, in reality, the deer meat can be a little bit stiff, but it's fantasy we're talking about. It's magical. Yes.
We get to have things well cooked permanently.
Yes. They are tender by my rule. Yes. Yeah, but yeah, the smooth like taste of the meat just like melts in your mouth and it's delicious. Yeah. So she kind of looks at you guys and just like, all right then. In the meantime, I guess we still have something else we need to attend to. Like since we can't let our little girl just take everything, she'll be buried with work. Yeah.
Oh, but she'll fight you on it.
Yeah. Yes. Apparently she's been trying to escape multiple times when she's younger, but yeah.
Good luck.
Yes. So if you
sounds like you have some fun childhood stories, eh?
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started. But that will be a story we can save for dinner. But right now, if you'll excuse me, I need to. Me and my husband need to attend to those works. Yeah. You are free to stay anywhere you want. The library is all yours. You can feel free to do any research you want, any stories you want to know. Yeah, it's all here. So yeah, the guards will be outside. If you need anything, just tell them. They'll tend to every need of yours. So yeah, like I will see you at dinner. So
thank you.
Yeah, they just nods and just kind of walks out of the room. What would you guys like to do now?
Well, Tally,
I'm kind of tempted to hit the armory.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Why don't we see what's there then?
All right. So, do you call the guards or just?
Oh yeah, whoever's in the room will just be like, "Hey, so armory? Which direction?"
Oh, the guard just nods and just like leads you to the side without saying other things. Just leads you other side towards the inner space. The armory, in fact, he leads you towards the center circle of the centerpiece of the garden, which you guys once fought the doppelgangers at, and you see him stood in the center of the circle and just like waves for you guys to step on.
Suppress the shudder. Step on.
Yeah. Yeah. The guard just steps onto multiple blocks on top of the circle, and everything just kind of opens up and sinks in. It's like a gigantic platform, like sunken into underground, and you can see that it's not a long ride. It's about 2 or 3 minutes before you reach the bottom. And you can see that surrounds you, this whole area are a large amount of weaponry, armory, and like the magic items and all that. And you can see all the way around. So the guard just says, "You can take your pick." Yeah.
Okay, I'm shifting towards armor first. I'm like, we are armoring you up, and
Yeah.
okay.
Sentinel is just like
Sentinel run wild.
Yeah, like slam onto his shoulder and just like run around, just try to find a perfect item for himself. Meanwhile, I would like you two to each roll me a 1d20.
All right.
Fail. Close.
Okay, and then each of you roll me a 1d100. Alright, let's see what you guys found. It's a large armory, so yeah, you can take your time. It's just I want to check that what you guys found that's most useful for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. All right. Okay. 3. Okay. Remaining. First, the armory. There is a few, like, you were searching through the wands and all the stuff. You found a large amount of, scroll casing that on top of it is a well decorated scroll, like with like a silvery case, like kind of covers around it. You can see why the reason why you can see it's encased in that case scroll is because the silvery crate is kind of translucent when you look at it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that will be the one you found. For Tully, you look around and the most iconic thing you can find is a well set of armor. It's like it's like a silky kind of shirt when the first you glance at it, but then you realize, oh wait, it's not a silk shirt, it's a chain shirt. It's an elven style chain shirt. It's glistening in like a gentle, like white hue underneath the spotlight. Yeah. Coming out of nowhere, spotlight.
Continuous dramatic lighting.
Yeah.
Oh, gingerly take it down.
Yeah. You gingerly take it down, and you can see that it has no weight at all. If it's not you are seeing right in front of your eyes, you would think that you're not holding anything, but it's so light. Yeah. Yeah.
Carefully gonna get changed, and then all right, let's see how light she is.
Yeah. So
back handspring.
Put it. Yeah. You immediately change it on. You now have a +2 elven chain shirt that you have at your disposal.
Yay!
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it was like a scroll case that I found. You
Yes,
said?
a scroll case.
Oh, okay.
Within there is a scroll.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Like, do I?
Yeah.
Is there anything written on it when I open up the scroll, or?
Do you open it?
Well, just to see if there's anything written on.
All right. The scroll case on the outside says, the scroll case that's in like carved on the outer rim. It just says, the encased robe. Yeah, the robe that's encased. Yeah. It's kind of weird because it's apparently a scroll that's inside.
I'll sort of show the scroll case to Tally, saying, "Oh, this says a encased robe on it, but it looks an awful lot like a scroll to me."
When you show it to Tully, you notice this. The carving, it doesn't say it's the robes. It says the only ring.
Ooh, the only ring.
Yes.
It's a case?
Yes.
And
you can see inside the case that it's an actual scroll. But for some reason, it's just kind of weird. Just kind of says that.
Okay. I'm gonna trust that this isn't the armor. I'm gonna uncap it.
Okay.
And be like,
so you uncap it. As you open it up, the scrolls, the image of the scroll kind of fades, and it forms into a nice looking ring.
That's fancy.
Oh, it's a illusory effect.
That's yours.
Nice. I see. Yeah, I'll.
The guard looks at you and just like looks at the scroll and is like, "So you found it? That one would be the most intriguing object of all. It's a
Okay,
box
come
of
on.
wonder. Yeah, so the box of wonder kind of detects what you need and just picks the items from the vicinity of this area. It is kind of an odd object. Was started because of a joke, but yeah, that is
The box of mystery.
yeah, the box of mystery. Yeah, but if the box says so, this must be something that can assist you along the way.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely gonna come in handy. And I'll sort of take the ring out of the box, or take a look at it, and then I'll sort of put it on to try and see what it does.
All right. You put it on. You found that this is definitely a magical ring, but you need to attune to it for further, like understanding. Yeah, because it's magical items. Unlike armor, armor just gives you bonuses, but this is different. Yeah. So mark that down, a magical ring from the box of wonder.
Right.
All right.
Under magic ring. All right. Cool.
All right. So, I guess that'll be all.
I'm assuming those are the only things we find. So
Yeah, those are the only thing that you think that catches your eyes, actually.
right. Yeah. So I'm assuming then wait, did we say what Sentinel got actually?
Sentinel got something. You can see that he was rummaging through the weaponry and found quite a large weapon. It's a great sword of some kind, but yeah, he's like, I like this. Yeah, he swings a little bit. It's pretty like sturdy and like swift. Yeah.
Ooh, giant great sword. Great choice.
Yes, and he stashed it back to his, and the great sword is not only that. It's like, as he took the great sword out of the shaft, the one thing that you notice is, it is translucent. Like the stuff is like, it's like as if it's holding kind of a like essence or something. So when he tried to put it into his sheath, and he totally forgot that he still has another greatsword, so he like kind of overlays two together. The magical thing happened is that the translucent sword kind of merged with what he already have, kind of bonded together, forming a new sword. Yeah, on his back. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, and it's hovering in my back, and he turns around to show you, because he was trying to sheath it, but yeah, it's like just kind of gently hovering on his back. Yeah, it's like yes,
So beautiful.
yeah,
yes,
armory and all.
Party.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that'll be it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we can check that off our list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Shopping.
yeah, shopping. Yeah, Sentinel just like kind of nods, is like, yes, weapons. Yes.
I'm glad you're happy.
Yeah. All right. So the guards noticed that, okay, you're all done. So he just kind of took you guys up, like he kind of activates the puzzle again, and then leads you guys up towards where you were in the centerpiece of the courtyard. And he was like, all right, anything else I can assist you of?
Nothing I can think of at the moment. Thank you very much.
Okay. He nods and bow and like just walk you guys back at the library again, and time passes as you spend. Anything else you would like to do in the library, or? Yeah.
I'm just going to see if I can find any books on the edge of the world and see what we're going to walk into, because
Yeah.
that's where I'd like to go.
Okay.
But I don't know, Ravani, where would you like?
Well, so there's that. What?
There are
what,
3 locations. So the edge of the world, the Chult, jungle of Chult, and then the ruins of Mistrano. Yeah, those are the 3 locations that was pointed out. So Chult and the edge of the world are 2 optimizable location for city to land. The ruins, they might be good. They are definitely good in magic sense, but you guys probably need to clear out some of the ruins as well as monsters before the city can actually set itself on top of it. So it's up to you.
I'll try and sort of do a little research on the ruins place then.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you all do some research, and for the edge of the world, it is like the furthest land of the entire world. Actually, it's nothing but snowy mountains as well as icebergs, as well as all the the place you would imagine closer to on Earth is North Pole. It's like large mountains and covered in snow and ice, and it's not a great place to live, but it's like really strong, and according to the books, the information you can gather, those are the since it's the edge of the world, it's the most powerful place of magic that can be, because it's the most converged magic ley lines where their locations are at. But it also spawns some danger, namely the frost giants. The frost giants love the climate, love the place, and they would attack anyone who tried to traverse the area. So there's that.
So gonna negotiate a trade agreement with those guys.
Yes. Frost giants are not like their cousins, the cloud giants. They view humans as inferior species, and as well as much humanoids, like elves maybe, but they just don't really like anyone else. Frost giants, and then some monsters that hunts in the wild. But there's also allies, like I said, the Dwarven King, Bruno Warhammer, is also leading his clan there, and it's also the famed home of this dark elf, this drow named Druiden, where he resides, and he was the famed hero of the area, and this is where
interesting
he
folks out here.
Yes, yeah. This is all written by one author called R.A. Salvatore, and it's yes. Sorry, copyright infringement. Don't come at me. No, but this. Yeah.
Shut down. Demonetize.
Shut down. Luckily, I'm not monetizing anything on my channel. But anyway, this famed bard tells the story of the heroes, of the northern lands. Yep, there's that. And for you, Rainy, you find that Mistrano was once a promising city. It's the city. It's called the City of Song, because this is like the promising land of both elves, wizards, as well as humans, imagine this place, like the most identical place to this will be nowadays Silver Moon in Faerun, as it's a large, profitable city and with many wonders and opportunities. However, there is something wrong with the magic. Something happened. There are many rumors. The books here alone you can find is just filled with different stories. Some said it's because the tieflings open up a portal to the nine hells and unleash the horror onto Mistrano. Some said that it's because the demons invaded the land because they wanted as their front entrance towards this realm. Some others said that this is because they dug too deep. The ruins also have dwarves, and they dug too deep into the Underdark, and drows as well as the Illithid. They kind of invaded the area. The mind flayers actually invaded the area and just killed a bunch of people. So so many rumors. No one knows what is true. So it's remaining a mystery. But like the adventures recorded, there's been sightings of all kinds of monsters as well as vicious foes. But there's also like a small clan called the Silverfire clan. It's an elf clan. They are like determined to recover the once lost great city. So there's that.
I sort of show her when I found out Mithra.
Yes, Mithra.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And
because Tali shows Ravani what she's found as well. Like, and I'm in two minds as a player. Like, one, I want to go to the edge of the world as Tali, but two, like, oh my god, I really want to explore these ruins so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. They both have their pros and cons. I'm not looking forward to the Frost Giants if we do that, but the allies here seem promising.
Oh, by the way, for Tali, you do know that the Sovereign actually tells you that they have relatives in the Silverfire clan that was once, before, so they can also reach out if it's needed. But they kind of said that they are a kind of a fanatic type. Like the Silverfire clan really devoted into helping Mistrano into recovering. So if you want their help, they would probably ask something of you to, in return.
No, I figured.
But on the other hand, the giants are nice. The cloud giants are really nice to the Blackfeather Sovereign. However, they also have their problems. That is, the giants don't normally want to help. They're like, okay, we can talk deals and all that, but if you want free helps, it's gonna be really, really hard.
It's only if Tiamat kind of shows up and threatens like the universe.
Or if the dragons, just single dragons, and they can just beat him up and as a play toy, then yes, definitely. But if you want them to march forward to kill the dragons, probably not. All
right.
So you have times to discuss and like some readings over, you have your dinner and enjoy quite a nice meal, and then like you are welcome to stay at the Court of Serenity for the rest of the evening, and that is where we'll end our session today. So you guys have the following week to.
I'm half tempted to offer that we just flip a coin and let fate decide where we go.
Kinda.
Kind of. You can totally do that, or you can ponder and think about it the next of the week and just decide which one you like better. Yeah. So
That's true enough.
It's up to you. You don't have to decide right now. You still have time. So it's up to you.
It'll be an interesting journey either way.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy with either story.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, that is why I want to reach our destination. Yes, because it's a nice way to wrap the story up. Yeah.
It's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.